So if you've seen some of my other videos, you've got a few starting points of where to get started with booking your shows and what to do to prepare for them. But I want to take a look at a few things that you're going to want to avoid completely, or at least take into consideration when you're finding a venue for your events. First thing, pay-to-play shows are 90% of the time not worth your time. Pay-to-play shows are generally where you put money up front and you are pretty much just paying for exposure. There's a few reasons why these aren't worth the time, even if you're a new band trying to just get your foot in the door. Most of the time, it's a promoter trying to make a quick buck, and it's not put together very well. You might get thrown on with like up to 30 different bands in the same night. You've got like a 10-minute turnover time. You've got to pretty much get thrown up on stage and then play someone else's equipment for like 2 or 3 songs, and then you're done. And there's generally no money in it at all. You don't even really get enough time to get the exposure that you're needing, so it's really not even worth it, especially if you're putting money up for it. Also, if you have to sell so many tickets or you're not getting paid out, that can be a big problem as well, because, maybe you've got to sell 40 tickets and they're $15 a pop. No one's going to buy all those tickets, especially if it's a local show. It sucks, but even if you do, you're going to have to, get a lot of your friends and family to buy these $15 tickets, and they're really not going to be too interested in coming to your next show if that was the first experience. It might not be the case, but that's generally just not worth it. Battle of the Bands situations, first of all, do you really want a battle? Music should not be about who's better than who. It's really all a matter of opinion. Most Battle of the Bands are already sort of rigged for whatever band they're favoring. The time and effort that goes into promoting something like that is just not worth it, especially when you can just get a decent gig at a different venue. Another thing, you want to look out for shady promoters. If you've heard a rumor or something like that someone doesn't pay people out, or someone will take off with the money or something like that, just don't work with them. It's probably a rumor for a reason. Another thing you want to keep in mind is when you're booking shows, you need to do some research beforehand. Figure out what type of venue it is. If your venue isn't relevant to the crowd you're trying to get and the audience you're trying to appeal to, it's not going to be worth it to book a show and go out and play. For example, if you're a hard rock band and you're trying to play at a electronic nightclub or something like that, you're probably not going to get the best crowd response no matter how many people you bring. Your main goal is to make new fans and make your existing fans happy. So keep that in mind when you're finding a venue to work with. A few other things you might want to consider: is the staff nice? Do they handle customers well? Is the bar a pretty sweet hangout? All these things make a big difference. Another thing you could do, just go on a night where another show is and see how the crowd responds to things. You could have a really, really cool venue, but everyone goes outside and smokes cigarettes the entire night. These things really matter, and they really make a big difference. Another thing you want to keep in mind, some bars will have minimum payouts. So if you don't make over $100 in sales at the bar or something like that, you don't get anything. You could have a minimum of people in the door. Another thing you want to check for, do they have sound? Is the sound good? Are their speakers blown? Is the mixing board missing 2 or 3 channels? These are really important things, especially the day of the show. Some venues will have a sound guy, and it's good to know if your first $100 or something from the night goes to the sound guy or the lighting guy or whatever. Really important things to keep in mind and factor in when you're trying to put something together. Also, keep away from venues that are not set up for shows, like if there's no stage or there's just no sound system at all, or they just have sporting events and they just kind of want to throw something together. Most of the time, those situations don't really work out too well because their regular audience is not really used to music, and they might not be as into it as opposed to getting booked at a venue that regularly does live events. Really important things you want to keep in mind, really important things to consider. Well, I hope this was helpful. Make sure to stay away from shady promoters. Always do your research. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next video.